You're listening to Lore Friendly. I'm your host, Chris Takahashi, and with me, as always, is Alice Shalashaska Bill.
As if they can't guess what the theme of today's episode is.
Can you hear the air quotes?
Yeah.
I noticed like almost every single character has like quotes. Is that like his thing now?
Like Venom punished Snake.
Yeah. I don't think I think it was just something in English that he thought was cool and decided to just overdo it on everything.
Yeah, and it's throw adjectives everywhere. That's how you make a character badass.
I think everyone should just have air quoted names.
Yeah.
Like Bending Rodriguez, or David Pigfucker Cameron.
Why hasn't he resigned? I hate David Cameron. I'm quite political. And David Cameron's a dick. Like, they took, like, tabloid newspapers like The Sun and stuff took the piss out of Ed Miliband, who was the Labour candidate, for eating a bacon sandwich wrong. Why are they not running with the fact that our current Prime Minister fucked a dead pig? Why?
Why a pig, by the way? That part has me
because
a little befuddled.
I don't know, it reminded me of his wife or something, I don't know.
But no, I mean, like, as far as something I imagine diabolical rich men do, it is kind of like just, Hunger Games shit, or like playing with the lives of poor people, like in Trading Places or something.
I don't understand rich people because I'm not rich, so I can't give you a proper answer to that. But yeah, Piggate. That's what it's called.
Why gate?
Piggate.
Too.
Because it's like
right. No, I'm so tired of gate. Though it should be like Piggazi or something. Piggazi sounds better.
No, I think gate has just become like a catch-all term for any controversy.
But right. But in all fairness, I think this fucking a dead pig is a lot more controversial than spying on your political opponent. So,
but the press doesn't care. Like, if the press were running with this, he'd be out of office next week. But no.
Is it substantiated, though?
Well, one of his friends in the party,
see.
who is also an MP, has written a tell-all book.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, I just hope that he does resign. He hasn't commented on it yet,
If he's smart,
I know.
he won't. Like, he won't even acknowledge its existence.
I want him to, though. Because I want him to be run out of... I want his legacy to be the Prime Minister who fucked the pig.
there is no coming back from that. Even denying it would confirm its legitimacy, basically.
Well, I want him to say that
you want him to
he
say
did
the
not
words.
have sexual relations with that pig.
Exactly.
I want him to say that, and then that's practically a confirmation, and then it's all good.
So, how have you been?
Busy and tired. I've just recovered from like pre-freshers flu.
What's that?
Do you get freshers flu over there? No.
I don't even know what that is. I don't get sick.
Fuck you. Basically.
Nanomachines.
Yeah, nanomachines, son. No. When you go to uni, because like people are coming from all over the country, and suddenly you're all like compacted into this relatively tiny space. And with that comes all the germs and diseases from all over the country that you're not used to.
It's like when they herd a bunch of chickens together and then they have to load them up with antibiotics.
Yeah, only there's more alcohol involved.
You have to self-medicate, basically.
Right.
But yeah, moving on. This is our 10th episode.
Yeah!
Yay.
Woohoo!
But we're not going to celebrate that. We're going to celebrate our 273rd subscriber.
9.
Oh shit, it went down.
Oh no!
It went to 272.
Oh shit!
We were going to celebrate 273,
Are you
but
kidding
that
me?
loser left, so.
Oh, you fucker.
Yeah.
You fucker. I was going to break open my 16-pound bottle of vodka to celebrate that 273 subscribers, and now I can't. So I hope you're happy.
Yeah. We have to take down all the banners now. That's at 273 subscribers.
I know. I like decorated my room especially. I've got party poppers ready, but we can't do it now. You've ruined it.
I guess we could wait till 300 subscribers, but technically, there's no need to celebrate round numbers anyway. I mean, 272 is just as good as 300 or 1,000 or 1,000,000.
Not really.
Almost.
We'd be getting a lot more revenue if we had 1 million subscribers.
Yeah. We're literally cutting up pennies right now. We probably made like
Woohoo!
a penny last month. Cut that in half, and then I have to mail it to you.
Well, you've already mailed me like 10 cents, so I'm kind of in debt to you. I owe you 5 cents.
So yeah, so we're good for the next 10 years. Until episode 100, I'll have to mail you another dime.
If we make it that far, we will make it that far. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we will. I never get round numbers anyway. I always wondered like if you're looking at like microwave instructions or something, or like you're supposed to boil something, it's always like a round number, right?
Yeah.
It's like boil for 3 minutes, microwave for 5 minutes. But like, is that really the optimal time?
I don't know. I suppose they say that because it's like the average, because like different people's ovens have different like powers and stuff like that.
Same is true for microwaves, I guess.
Yeah.
But couldn't the average be like 3 minutes and 47 seconds or something like that?
I suppose,
why does it always have to be 4 or 3 or
like some
3.5?
microwaves don't have like a second button. Like you can't input separate seconds.
Oh, they don't?
Some of maybe this is because I'm in the student accommodation.
Because you're living in Nottingham. That place doesn't even exist in this century, if Robin Hood is any indication.
Actually, Nottingham student accommodation is actually surprisingly nice compared to some of the shitholes I've seen in London.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because, like, London, the rent's, like, 3 times as expensive as it is up here. And they get, like, no space, and the floors are mouldy and shit.
I guess that's because it's an old country, so with old countries, you have old buildings that don't necessarily get the money or the revenue to get replaced. Whereas, like, in a relatively new country like America, pretty much everything is going to be somewhat new.
Yeah.
No older than 200 years.
Yeah, it wouldn't
years
surprise me if this house was like 500 years old. I've seen like mutant spiders in it already.
Yeah, it's probably haunted too.
Well, yeah, I did hear some moaning last night, but I think that might have been one of my housemates having sex.
Sex or a ghost, you don't know.
I do have like the only thing separating my room from next door is like a plywood wall and a door.
Okay.
So if the person next door to me has sex, I will know.
In America, it's definitely sex. In Britain, in the UK, it might be a ghost. You never know.
Wouldn't surprise me if like an old man died in here.
Yeah,
so I'm in I'm in the cellar, basically.
Several old men. They're probably fighting over who gets to haunt you.
Oh God, that'd be worse than my Tinder guys.
All right, so we've gone off the...
Fuck Konami!
Right. So for our first topic, we're going to talk about the whole Kojima Konami debacle.
Fuck Konami!
And so apparently they had a falling out, as everybody knows. And part of the rumors are it had to do with the extremely large budget that Kojima was asking for, as well as sort of bizarre treatment of the employees at Konami. Like, they were basically having them, like, if they made a mistake or if they were doing something wrong, they basically, like, had them, like, pick up garbage and do a lot of just weird shit. Which is kind of crazy, if true.
It's kind of inhumane because, like, it takes a lot of talent to get into all of these big publishing companies.
Right. They're highly desirable jobs.
They're highly desirable, and there's not many of them in the grand scheme of things compared to like the amount of people who want to get into the gaming industry and the amount of jobs there are with AAA publishers.
Right.
So you'd think that like when they're hiring the cream of the crop, like the best programmers that the country has to offer, that they treat them with a little more respect.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I suppose they can get away with it because they can be like, oh, you're not going to get a job anywhere else, are you?
Right.
Soz.
It really did kind of remind me of that whole Cersei walk of shame thing.
It's really awful how they treat them. Like, did you hear about how new people in the company don't get a like proper company email address? Like, they don't have any personalized email addresses. They get just generic number-coded email addresses, and they have to change them every couple of weeks.
Well, is that for security, or they just don't want any leaks, or?
Just to be dicks, I think.
Just to strip them of whatever humanity they have
left.
Yeah,
to strip them of their identity.
This is your
they
new
are
name now.
Programming machines.
01001.
It's a bit like 1984.
See this picture of your family here? We're replacing it with a barcode.
We're replacing it with the Facebook default photo.
And this toaster here, that's your new wife.
I do feel really bad for them, though.
Yeah.
Because, like, they think... Like, when I was younger, like, I did consider going into, like, gaming and stuff until I realised that I can't program for shit. And I thought, yeah, Konami would be one of the companies that I'd really like to go for because, like, the Silent Hill series and the MGS series, they're, like, essential parts of my childhood. And think about how many people who've gone into that company thinking, oh my god, this is my childhood, right here, right now. I'm working for the company that I've been with for
that you've idolized
20, 30 odd years,
put on the pedestal.
Yeah, and then they're like, well, prisoner 60201.
Spoiler alert, you're the pedestal.
But yeah, it's really, 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 I don't think there's any other word for it than bad.
Yeah, here's another thing based on the article. It says employees who are deemed useless have been known to be given assembly line work at Konami's pachinko slot machine factory, been ordered to work as security guards, and even made up to clean up fitness clubs, which is what we were talking about earlier with the garbage. So basically, like high level programmers, instead of like doing their job, like they're standing outside working the security gate.
But here's the thing: do they change their pay based on what job they're doing?
Probably not, because it'd be too much of a hassle to do.
Yeah, there'd probably be some legal issues with that.
Right, but like when you're driving up to the parking lot and you see like Hideo fucking Kojima working the security gate, like you would really wonder how well they're allocating their resources.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about the accusations of just the overblown budget, 80 million spent on the development of Metal Gear Solid 5?
Well, it's the fact that I'm assuming that a lot of that budget went into developing the Fox engine that I don't think they're going to use again because Konami said something about cutting back on AAA development.
Right, but it's a sunk cost. They've already spent the money, so at this point, it makes a lot more sense to just keep I mean, that's the reason why Bethesda keeps using the creation kit. Yeah. Is because it costs way more money to not only develop the kit, but then you have to train your employees to use a new kit. By using the old kit or using something that employees are already trained for, you save a lot of money.
But it doesn't look like they're going to be using that Fox engine again. It looks like they've developed it for a single game, which is really stupid.
Then again, they are wasting high-level people having them work as security guards.
I don't think they're the sanest of people, to be honest. I don't think they should be running a gaming company.
But it depends, though, like we were talking about this with Fallout Shelter before, but it depends on what your focus is as a company. If you're there to make money, if you're there to make art or games or whatever, if you're there to do both. Because if they can make a lot more money from mobile, like Dragon Collection is supposedly a smash hit on mobile.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, exactly. That I'm reading it off this article. It says it's a smash hit. I don't even know if that's true or not, but that's what it says here. So we'll take this guy's word for it. But like with Fallout Shelter, like we were talking about last time, it could possibly make more money than Fallout itself. So, but that we said they're inextricably tied. I'm assuming Dragon Collection has nothing to do with Metal Gear Solid, no. So they're independent. Its success is independent of Metal Gear. So, from a business standpoint, you're spending $80 million on this one
that you're
thing,
never going to use again.
Right, and if it's not making more profit than this thing that you probably spent like $1 million on, then it might make you rethink your strategy. Now, it'd be different if it was like a Titanic situation, like James Cameron spent tons and tons of money, went way over budget, but that movie made like more money than almost any other. It's one of like the most
iconic movies of our era.
Right, and not only that, it was one of the most profitable movies from a business standpoint. So, which brings us to the game
Woo!
itself.
Nice
Metal Gear
segue.
Solid. Yeah, woohoo! So, is Metal Gear Solid the Titanic of our generation, or is it like Titanic the ship and just going to sink?
I've written the good, the bad, and the ugly for it.
All right. So, what are your thoughts?
Right, to preface this, I am a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. Like, it is one of the first games that I remember playing. I can remember playing the first game and running all over the trapdoors and not falling down, and then my sister would try it, and then she'd fall down, and it was hilarious because she kept on dying. Not literally, but yeah. So it...
Okay. If she literally died, I'd imagine you'd
I'd be a lot
less...
more traumatized.
Yeah, you certainly wouldn't be playing any sequels.
No.
It's like, I really want to play this game, but I only have so many family members, so...
Yeah. But it is seriously one of my favourite game series, and, like, playing through this game was a bit painful because it didn't feel like a Metal Gear Solid game. But we're going to start with the good.
Okay.
So, the gameplay. The gameplay is actually incredible. Like, it's so sleek, everything moves perfectly. You've got so many different options at every level. Like, you can sneak around, or you can tranquilize people, or you can come in with a tank, and you can shoot everyone to death, or you can call in an airstrike and clear everyone out, or you can go around and sneak up on people and Fulton them.
You even have companion options, too.
Yeah, you have the choice between a cute little dog, who you rescue, which is really cute. You have, like, a walker. Like, there's these Metal Gear walker things in the game. And you can get one of them to just trot around Afghanistan in, which is hilarious. And then you get a half-naked lady who isn't quite as funny. Because, like, the reason that, like, there was a tweet that Kojima put out in response to criticism of Quiet's design. And he said, "You will be ashamed of your words and deeds when you find out why she is designed this way." And then it comes to the explanation and you're like... No, I'm not ashamed of my words and deeds. Not at all.
Like, it will all become clear when you play the game. It's going to make so much sense.
Yeah, and it did become clear, but it was a completely shitty explanation.
It's pretty clear that...
that you wanted to watch a naked lady running around the screen in a bikini.
It's quite evident what his motivations were. It's not some complex code we need to crack here.
Yeah. The companions are an amazing, like, addition to gameplay, though. Like, the D-Dog's my favourite. That's what he's called, D-Dog. And he's got a little eye patch like the boss, which is great. But, they all have different abilities, so, like, Walker Gear is ideal for just going in and shooting everyone and having, like... Just like if you're really heavy styled character. Then you've got Quiet, who's good for picking everyone out before you even get to the base. And then you've got D-Dog, who finds items for you. He pinpoints all the enemies on your map. He's basically like superpowered. He's not good in combat, but he's amazing at reconnaissance.
Yeah,
so
you can never really go wrong with companions because their different skill sets add to the gameplay in just different ways. The one thing I do find weird is from a narrative standpoint, the whole system of kidnapping your companions so you can become friends later is just weird. From a narrative standpoint, at least. Like, the whole thing with Quiet, like, when you capture her, you have the option of shooting her or recruiting her, and then, like, Kaz is telling you, kill her, but you're like, no, I'm gonna take her home, we're gonna be best friends forever. It's like the ultimate lonely otaku fantasy. It's kind of weird if you play the game that way, like this kind of maniac who's capturing people and bringing them back to his house to play.
It's not only people that you can, like, kidnap, though. You can kidnap bears and sheep and wolves and rabbits and hedgehogs and guinea pigs. It's amazing because you get your own zoo that you can go visit. It's great.
But yeah, animals don't think, though. Like humans, it's like, yeah, I just shot you in the head, now I'm gonna kidnap you and take you back home to my playhouse, and we're gonna be besties now.
Yeah, I imagine that, like, when everyone gets back to base, Ocelot's just there with, like, cookies and and a big smile and an indoctrination tape. And he's like, this is why you will love Big Boss.
It is kind of weird. Like, why would I join up with this guy who just, like, nearly killed me?
I think everyone secretly fancies him.
Okay.
Like, I kind of secretly fancy him. Like, the Fox engine renders human models, like, incredibly. And whew. I mean, Snake's always been one of, like, the character of Snake has always been, like, one of the hottest guys in gaming. And slightly aged Snake, not to the extent of MGS4, but, like, MGS5 Snake has just got, like, the right degree of ruggedness, and he's kind of hot. And I would totally join up with him.
You wouldn't mind being besties with Snake?
Oh, I'd like to be more than besties with Snake. Shall we move on to the bad? Right, the MGS games are, like, known for the story. They are criticised for having 9-hour cutscenes and everything, but that is part of what makes Metal Gear Solid Metal Gear Solid, is the story. And the story was really lacking in this game.
Well, it was there. It was just incredibly bizarre and nonsensical.
It was there, but it wasn't there. Like, it was all hidden away on tapes. And in Peace Walker, they also used the tapes instead of codec conversations. And the tapes were really effective in Peace Walker, because all the characters had very distinct voices, they had very distinct ways of talking. They peppered in, like, funny tapes amongst the serious ones. And it was a really good way to, like, keep you on your toes and learn about the characters. Like, in Peace Walker, Snake still believes in Father Christmas. Yeah, he still believes in Father Christmas, as you find out in a conversation with Huey. And in a tape from Paz, you find out that Snake and Kaz had a naked shower fight because Kaz was sleeping with all the women on Mother Base.
Okay.
And it was affecting morale.
Yeah, so little interjections of humor.
Yeah,
into
little
an otherwise serious
and humanity as well.
Okay.
Because it all makes the characters a bit more human. Like, you had Kaz and Snake bantering over the name of his uniform in the third game and things like that, like how it was called Naked Snake, and they were just pissing around like that. But in MGS5, almost all of the story was relegated to the tapes. Like, there are so many important plot points that are just there. They're not in the game, they're to the side. Like, we learn about... You saw in the trailers the gas mask kid.
Right.
You don't learn anything... you don't learn anything about him in the game. You have to go to the tapes to find out anything about him.
But isn't that because we already know about Psycho Mantis? I mean, more or less in Metal Gear Solid, he's an old character. He's not...
Well, we don't...
new.
It isn't confirmed that he's Psycho Mantis. It's very heavily hinted, but it isn't confirmed. But, like, a lot of the nature of his powers and stuff like that, that's relegated to tapes. Just really disappointing. I like my 20-hour cutscenes and exposition galore. I like to be able to go and get popcorn whilst...
Is that because of the way the open world gameplay is, that they're trying to...
I think that they were trying too hard. Because the open world, whilst it's beautiful, whilst the Fox engine does, like, an amazing job of rendering these gorgeous landscapes, it's so empty.
Are the environments repetitive? Or...
I'd say they're pretty repetitive. Like, the little camps, they're all the same. You have 4 guys, and you have to take them all out if you want to capture the guard post, and it's all just very repetitive. Everything looks the same. To say that the world is so huge, there's not much you can do in it, other than capture animals.
Right.
I'm also going to bring up the whole the voice acting thing, because you know that David Hayter was replaced by Kiefer Sutherland, but Kaz and Ocelot sound the same as well. Like, when you're listening to the tapes, you can't tell the difference between them.
Right.
Like, the only reason you can tell that Ocelot is Ocelot, and you really have to listen out for it, is that, like, Ocelot has that slight Troy Bakeriness. I don't know how to describe it otherwise.
Yeah,
because, like, Troy Baker's characters, they always have a somewhat similar, like, maybe timbre or something, where they all sound slightly similar. And that gets very confusing.
I sort of based it on the tone of the dialogue. Oftentimes, like, Ocelot's less emotional.
Yeah, he's less revenge after, and Kaz is more like, rah, Cypher!
There's not enough contrast, I think, between those two.
No.
There were times that I was thinking, oh, okay, who's talking here? Oh, wait, based on the dialogue, it must be this guy.
Yeah.
Based on the, But, the whole dialogue is kind of cringy at times.
I think it'd be less cringy if it was delivered in Metal Gear Solid's signature cheesy style. I mean, let's face it, David Hayter's voice as Snake.
Yeah, it's really over the top.
Pretty ridiculous.
It's like the Batman in Christopher Nolan's movies.
Yeah, and Huey's voice is also quite cartoony and over the top. And then you have Kaz and Ocelot, who just sound like normal guys. So it's a bit of a jarring contrast, and they're the ones who have some of the most cringeworthy lines.
Except, the most cringeworthy character by far is Skullface. I mean, the whole...
Such a lust for revenge!
The whole game is kind of a meme generator in that aspect. I don't know if it's the translation that's the problem, or if it's just cringeworthy out of the box, but oh my god, that Jeep scene.
That was so bad.
They hop in a Jeep and he's just going on and on about his insane plan while just Snake has to sit there awkwardly, kind of scratching himself.
And then the music comes on. Like the music was obviously designed for some epic battle sequence. And then you get Skullface finishing his monologue, and then you get whoa. And they sat there for another 2 minutes in complete silence.
I wonder if Skullface realized before they got in the Jeep, okay, this is a 6-minute ride. I'm gonna talk for 4 minutes.
And then it's gonna be really awkward for between us.
Yeah. I think he was thinking okay, when I'm done talking and completely blowing his mind, Snake is gonna start asking questions. He's gonna want to know more, right?
Yeah.
And then he finishes his monologue, and Snake's not just sitting there. He's providing no feedback at all. So he's like, "Oh God, what do I do?" He's not saying anything.
I'll just put some music on.
Let me just turn on the radio. That'll fill this empty silence.
Oh God.
Oh, it was.
I did. Oh.
Yeah.
I did miss Snake's whole. I miss Snake's dialogue. 'Cause he doesn't really say much in the game.
I wonder if that's a line limitation based on the fact that Kiefer Sutherland is a celebrity and has.
That's where the 80 million budget went. Went on Kiefer Sutherland.
10 million for Kiefer's trailer.
To voice 10 lines.
20 million for his M&Ms to be sorted correctly.
Maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back for Konami.
Yeah.
Maybe they were like, Kiefer Sutherland's costing you too much, mate. Just get rid of him.
Yeah. Just cut him loose. And Kojima's like, no.
But no, Kojima was like, okay, and then they just had to roll with the dialogue that they had.
Yeah. Yeah, he barely talks.
The whole 10 lines.
I wasn't sure if he was a mute when I started watching this stream. I was like, is he gonna talk? It's just awkward because the other guy's just talking on, and Keith just
nope.
No.
Shut
I'm
up.
just gonna sit here, twiddle my thumbs while you go on your inane rant about destroying English.
Oh, we have to move on to the ugly yet. Fucking hell.
Well, it's hard to get any worse than that Jeep scene.
Oh god. In chapter 2, the recycling of missions, you have to redo missions, but with certain restrictions placed on you.
Variables.
And you redo so many of the missions for no reason whatsoever. It's like they ran out of. They couldn't be asked to make a game. like so many of just like the random missions that you've done, you have to redo them. Like you have to redo the sniper battle with Quiet. I think you have to redo the Sahelanthropus fight.
Oh god.
You have to do loads of little like base infiltrations and prisoner extractions, and it's just really lazy.
It's like our game has high replay value because we force you to replay it.
and there were entire plot threads just missing because an entire chapter's worth of game is cut out of the actual game. They cut out an entire chapter, which explains why. It explains what happens to Eli and Baby Psycho Mantis and the child soldiers and stuff.
Yeah. It's not. I don't know why they cut that out.
I don't because they ran out of missions to reuse.
Yeah, let's instead of using this original new mission, why don't we make them redo the old one? That's what gamers want.
And again and again and again.
Yes. That's much more preferable.
They're forcing you to be completionists.
I'm sure there's some kind of logical explanation for it. Maybe there was a bug that they couldn't overcome.
I think that Konami cut them off.
Yeah.
To sell it as DLC.
That's true. They couldn't basically keep the budget down. Because those extra lines for Kiefer were just costing them too much.
Yeah. Way too much money. But yeah, the game had the potential to be Game of the Year. But the issues with the storyline and the missing content and the recycled missions, from a gameplay perspective, it's absolutely incredible. But it's not a Metal Gear Solid game, and it's not Game of the Year material. Like, when you can... It just doesn't feel finished. That's the issue with it. The game has just been cut off.
Yeah.
And it's not done. Like, you get products like Witcher 3 that are completely finished and polished to perfection, from what I know.
Yeah.
We're going to get Fallout 4, which we're hoping is going to be absolutely incredible, despite all of Bethesda's usual bugs. But when placed up to that kind of competition, it just doesn't stand out.
Yeah, what do you think of... I know it's skippable, but what's with the credits after every mission?
Oh, they ruin everything. Like you get pre-mission credits that tell you, oh, the skulls are in this one, and it's like, oh fuck, I don't want to play anymore. Fucking hate the skulls.
Starring.
Or oh, here's Quiet. Yeah. Or oh, here's Prisoner 54621.
Yeah, and the whole like starring thing, like it's a movie. It's like.
And it's like, no.
Yeah. What is with that? I didn't understand that at all. I mean, I know Super Mario 3, the whole thing is basically a play. And so when I saw the whole starring Venom Punish Snake or whatever,
yeah,
it was like, oh, wait, are they just acting this out? Is this a movie? Is this like Tropic Thunder?
I think the issue is Kojima forgot that he was making a game. Yeah. And then he forgot to make the film as well. So he was just like, there's this kind of storyline now, and I just want you to go wild with it. And then he stuck his name on everything.
Yes, he did.
And he said, right, I want loads of cutscenes and stuff, so he sticks his name on it, thinking, oh my god, it's like the video game movie. And...
Yeah, I wonder if it's just a culture thing. This is a really big generalization, but maybe Japanese people, they don't cringe as much. They're more sincere.
Yeah.
So there isn't a fear of the way it'll look if your name is plastered all over the credits, like director, writer.
Produced by, written by.
And like...
Motion capture by.
Or maybe he's just one of those people who just narrates his entire life. I don't know. It's like when he goes on a date, it's like dinner for two, a Hideo Kojima production.
Maybe he knew that he was going to be cut off from Konami, and he knew that his name would get taken off the front cover, so he was like sticking it to him. Like, my name is all over this game, you fucks.
Or it could be the reverse, and Konami was like, we know he likes to stick his name everywhere. What's the best way to get him back? Take his name off the cover. That will drive him absolutely nuts.
And they didn't even look at the game.
Yeah.
So they didn't realise that he'd basically wallpapered a Hideo Kojima game over every scene. I bet you it's written in the landscape somewhere.
I'm sure it's tattooed somewhere on Big Boss's body.
Yeah.
Created by Hideo Kojima.
Shame we don't get to see him naked.
Yeah. You're gonna see that on his penis. It's like it's that penis joke where it's like you can't really read what it says, but when he gets erect, it says created by Hideo Kojima.
I bet Quiet'd get one hell of a surprise.
Yeah. Oh god, that dancing scene in the...
Oh my god, have you seen... I can't watch it, I had to swap it with Ocelot. People have been doing model swaps with Ocelot and it's great. Or with D-Dog. The D-Dog model swap is maybe the best thing in the world.
The whole game is just one big like meme generator.
They just need to keep up the model swaps. Like there's a shower scene you can unlock if you stink, and if your bond with Quiet is really high. You basically get to go shower with Quiet whilst all the men look on and like, woo! Go boss! Yeah. And so they swapped Quiet with Ocelot. So you get Quiet with this really disgruntled expression like, oh my god, what are you doing? You stink. And then you get Ocelot like, come join me in the shower. And then you get Ocelot rubbing his body down, fully clothed, and all the guys hollering. And Quiet's just looking there, rolling her eyes like, oh my god, these fucking guys.
It is kind of ridiculous when you flip it around like that. Like, yeah. Like,
it shows how he really didn't think.
Yeah.
He just wanted to see a naked lady rubbing herself down.
Exactly.
Because nanomachines.
Right.
Or parasites.
Yeah.
Or nanomachines. Who knows?
So, on a scale of Game of Thrones characters, what are we giving this?
I'm just going off the complete Game of Thrones characters thing. I'm going to call it Season 4. Because it had potential to be one of the best games or one of the best TV series of all time. Because they had so much material they could have worked with Big Boss's Descent into Darkness. And the gameplay, just like the set dressing and the direction and stuff like that in Season 4, is incredible. But the actual meat of the story, it's not there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mentioned this before, but I'm going to give it the Cersei walk of shame.
Yeah.
Because it went on a little too long. It's a little bit awkward.
You're just thinking of that fucking Jeep scene.
Yeah, but in my defense, that Jeep scene was awful.
Whoa.
Question time.
Woo.
Jude in Malibu asks, is it true that the Fulton recovery system is a real thing? Like, take soldiers to Guantanamo real or balloon tanks back to base real?
Hey Jude, don't make it sad.
Jude is actually a dude, I think.
I thought the Jude was a female name because the Beatles sang about it.
Seems kind of masculine though, like Jude Law.
But hey Jude.
True. My apologies, Jude, for assuming you were a dude, despite the fact that you were a person made up solely for the purpose of this segment.
Right, okay. Yes, the Fulton recovery system in the Metal Gear series is based on a real thing, but it works incredibly differently to how it does in the game. It was developed by Robert Edison Fulton Jr., which is where you get the name from, for the CIA in the early 1950s. And it was an advancement of the earlier system used to recover soldiers in World War II. So, for starters, the Fulton's real-world counterpart used aeroplanes instead of helicopters, which is lampshaded in Peace Walker, where the Fultons first appeared in-game, by Kaz saying, we can't afford a plane, so we're going to have to use a helicopter, soz boss. But can you imagine how dangerous it would be to, lift someone up off the ground at quite intense speeds, when there's whirling blades of death above you? How have not more of our soldiers died from extracting them? I have no idea. But,
yeah.
The explanation for how it works is really complicated, but I think I managed to translate it into human speak.
Yeah.
Okay, so, from what I gathered, a line with a balloon and a harness would be dropped down from the aeroplane instead of just someone having it on their person. And this would then be attached to the subject, who would then shoot up with a similar amount of force on the body as it would like if you were skydiving and then you have a parachute opening. And because of this unpleasant sensation, a lot of people shit themselves.
Oh, gross.
Yay! When they were testing the system, they tested it on a pig, because pigs apparently have quite similar internal organs to humans. And,
maybe that's why David Cameron's fucking
we've come full circle. No, in testing on the pig, it like span all the way up, and so it was just a bit disorientated when it got onto the plane. And then once it recovered, it started attacking the crew. Just rabid pig.
And pigs are fucking strong. Like, they can crunch through bones and shit.
Yeah, I've had my hand bitten by a pig before. It wasn't nice.
Was this a normal pig or the kind being bred for sex with prime ministers?
No. God, I'm not rich enough to do that. I was at a farm, and I was petting the pig's snout, and the pig just quickly moved its mouth up, and then it grabbed onto my hand, and it started gnawing on it, and I was like, ah! Because I was only like 12 at the time. But then Nana saved me, and I got an ice cream for my trouble. Yay!
Yeah, you're like, I should get bit by pigs more often. I'd have more ice cream.
Yeah, but basically the Fulton system was real, but it was only really used in the 1960s, I think. Like 1950s, 1960s. But can you just imagine, like, Pequod flying all these new recruits into Mother Base, and as soon as they land, everyone's like, oh my god, you guys stink. And everyone's uniform is just covered in shit.
Yeah, that would be the job for the person who shamed Konami. They would have to be cleaning those uniforms. I did think it was kind of risky to Fulton people who are your enemies for another reason, basically, because, I mean, what if they had, like, tracking devices on them? Or a bomb, even?
Yeah.
Although I guess that would be kind of unsafe.
Just a bit. Although you can do that in the game. You can attach C4 to someone, and you can send them up on the Fulton, and if they go past the, like, an enemy gunship, you can set it off and it blows up the gunship. And your guy still makes it back to Mother Base. Because magic.
What? Wouldn't he be in, like, pieces and shit?
Yeah, they reconstruct him. We have a very good med bay on Mother Base.
But of course, you don't share that technology with the rest of the world for some reason.
Because we're dicks.
That's true.
Maybe this is his descent into darkness. He doesn't save this life-saving technology.
Yeah. And he is kind of an asshole. He does beat up his own soldiers on base. And if that isn't enough evidence that Big Boss is a tool, he also smokes e-cigarettes.
Well, he said in Peace Walker that he'd never use an electric one. And what do you know?
Not to mention it's another technology he's kept from the masses. These super medicinal
time-traveling cigarettes.
Yeah, time-traveling cigs. So I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah, we've gone on for quite a while. We've gone on for longer than usual. Considering we only have one question, this is quite an achievement.
Yeah, maybe we might even get that 273rd subscriber back. We can use all these banners and decorations we had planned.
Yeah.
Although it probably would help if we put out more content.
Hey, we're putting out regularly now.
Yeah. We're making an effort.
I've overcome disease for this.
Think of our sacrifice.
Yeah, think of us.
Alright, so, I guess that's it for this episode.
Yeah.
Say goodbye, Alice.
Bye, guys. Join us for Halloween.
Standing on the edge of the crater, like the prophets once said, and the ashes are all cold now, no more bullets, and the embers are dead. Whispers in the air, tales of the brothers gone. Desolation, devastation. What a mess we made when it all went wrong. Watching from the edge of the circus for the games to begin. Gladiators draw their swords, form their ranks for Armageddon. I'm nuclear, I'm wild, I'm breaking up inside. A heart of broken glass, deep foul, deep inside the abandoned child. Standing on the edge of the underworld, looking at the abyss. And I'm hoping for some miracle to break out, to escape from all this. Whispers in the air tell the tale of a life that's gone. Desolation, devastation. What a mess we made when it all went wrong. I'm nuclear, I'm wild, I'm breaking up inside. A heart of broken glass, deep foul, deep inside the abandoned
Oh, it's ridiculous. Like, I feel like I should know Nottingham better, seeing as I've been here for like 3 years.
Wait, hold on a sec. You live in a city named Nottingham,
Nottingham.
as in the sheriff of Nottingham?
Yeah, that's where he comes from. That's where we get Robin Hood from. We've got a castle here, and we've got Robin Hood straight outside it.
Is that north or south of Winterfell?
That's further north.